and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my IBT, so the initial basic training in Ireland for motorcycles or motorbikes, whichever you prefer, and my IBT experience and everything that it entails. So really to start off with, it's the pricing, so it is pricey, but the value is well worth it in my opinion anyway. So you're looking at €495, and that's one-to-one training for the A license, and that's for a learner permit as well. So the training was divided into 2 days, 1 day theory and the second day was practical. I done it with Road Skills.ie in the Waterford Airport Business Park, and I would definitely recommend them, highly recommend them actually. So like I had been studying a police rider's handbook for a few months at this stage, so it definitely helped, and it's still my Bible to this day. It's a great book, I love it. I have it there, so that's it there. I'll leave a link down in the description for that. It's great, it teaches you everything and well worth doing. If you're going to ride, why not ride as good as anybody else, so that's why I got it, and I wouldn't look past it. So definitely recommend that. And also, I suppose to start off, you started off with your theory. You go in there, normal clothes, you don't have to wear any bike gear or anything like that, because it's a full day. I think it's 8 hours, 8 hours of theory. Now you might think that's boring, but like I really enjoyed it. There's lots of information in there, it actually prepares you to, if you really want to be on bikes, because there is things you see on the bikes that might wipe you out or might give you a bit of fear on it, but it's explained really well and well worth doing. Like the experience you get there is just, it's second to none, and like from the second you go in there, you're at ease because he explains everything perfectly, and there's a reason towards everything. So you're not sitting there trying to stay awake, yourself when you're in a course and you're just like, oh my god, I wish this was over. You're actually glued to it the whole time, Well, I was anyway, so I think you would be as well. So you start off and you get a training logbook, which is this. So you fill all this in, you go from start off and all that kind of stuff, and you go through the different stages and everything like that. That's a great thing. That's a great book. I still look through that as well every now and again, just get little tips or stuff that I'd forgotten when I done it. So the theory is, like I said, it's a day long one, but it's definitely well worth it, and it's and it definitely prepares you for the practical side of things, So I felt really good after the theory, and he even showed us the bikes at the end, so that gives you a little boost when you're going in to do the practical. It's nice to see the bike, see what you're going to be on and what you hope to go on as well. I suppose another tip would be to just ride your own ride as well. There's no shame in going on a 125. I'm on a 125. I'd never ridden a bike in my life before I went out there, I think I went about 10 yards on my friend's bike, but you wouldn't even call that riding a bike, But like I would, so like you can have a look online and everything like that, but the amount of people are going to be saying, oh, go for a phase of 600, go for this 500, go for that. That's all well and good till you go out there, and you might go on it and be flying on it, but be prepared to go on like a 125 and leave your ego at the door, because it's not really going to help you. You're there to learn to ride a bike, so if you've never ridden a bike before, then you have to start at the bottom, as it were, and don't worry about what anybody else thinks or anything. You'll only ever be on the bike by yourself, really, and start off where you're comfortable with. Don't try to be a hero or try to start on something that like you're gonna end up in trouble on, you know, because there was times when if I was on a more powerful bike, I was going to be in trouble as well, you know. But that's the practical day, and I'll run you through that now in a few minutes. But definitely my tip is just to go there with an open mind and be prepared for, if it's not working out for you, get the 125 license, you know. Just get it and get out on the road and get your experience. It's the only way to do it. It's only a small proportion of the time that you're going to be on a bike, those 8 hours in the training, you know. So make the most of it and just get, I suppose, walk before you can run, that kind of thing as well. But it's fantastic. I love it. And like, it's the one thing about it is that you're going to learn your level fairly quick, and it might be really high level or it might be the lower level, but that's what the training is all about. So be prepared. Be prepared for every level, you know. So yeah, that was the theory. So the next, I think it was a week or two later, that so got the practical then. So I was really nervous that morning, but I was looking forward to it as well at the same time. So it was just me and him, obviously, one-to-one training. So I had the full gear already here now. They used to do it before, but they don't do it anymore. So I had a look on the website today, on the roadskills.ie website today, and it said you need your helmet, gloves, jacket, boots and pants. Now he will provide the L-vest. So just check with your instructor, whoever it is, but definitely get all the gear. I am all the gear all the time, you know, ATGATT as they call it. I just believe that you give yourself the best chance on the bike, because it only takes one incident or something, you know, to hurt yourself or anything like that, you know. You could be going over to the shop or whatever. But the gear, it can be expensive. I suppose that's another thing to factor in as well, is the gear. My gear was expensive enough, but I wasn't over the top, you know. I do a video of my gear, maybe next week or the week after, just to show you what kind of gear you can expect and kind of prices what you can pay for them as well. So definitely you have to bring your gear with you anyway. You have to provide that yourself, and just, you know, factor that in before you do your training. It's a nice bit of money outlay at the start, but it will stand you, you know, as your training goes on and all that stuff as well. So I'll just have a look at the notes that I have here. So he ran me through like the powder check. So it's petrol, oil, water, damage, electronics and rubber, as far as I can remember. But that's, you know, it gives you a feel for the bike. It gives you, you know, how to check on the bike, all that kind of good stuff as well. And you know more when you go in there, but this is only a small bit of what my experience was. So started the training, got on the 125, which is the smallest bike there, and yeah, I was nervous, you know, and I was with the trotting and all that kind of stuff as well. I was a bit wary, you know, kind of leaving it out and all that kind of stuff. And like, I drive a car, and it's just like when you start to drive a car, you're really nervous and you're you don't want to go flying into a wall, you know. But he look after it. That's not going to happen unless you go wild altogether. But so I'd been doing different maneuvers or different and just doing the basics, really, you know, of starting it off when you're standing on it, the weight on the bike, everything like that as well, you know. But I I thought I was doing okay. You know, I knew I wasn't fantastic or anything like that, but I thought I had a lot more time than I actually did, you know. So we took a first break after, I think it was about an hour, hour and a half maybe, and we just had a chat upstairs, and I was like, yeah, things are going, I'm enjoying it, all this kind of stuff. And then the instructor said, look, it's not really working out for you. So I was kind of a bit crestfallen with that, to be completely honest. But I took it on board, you know, because he was saying, we'll try to get you on the 125 licence, which, you know, I had no ego about that. I was like, look, I'd never ridden a bike in my life, and, you know, if I can get to that level of the 125, then I start off, you know, I've no qualms about that at all. That's what I was saying earlier. If you have your expectations on a big bike and, you know, you're told, look, maybe we'll try to get you on the 125, then take that, you know, take your medicine, as they say, and you get your experience, and you won't look back. So I came back down then after the break with kind of renewed vigour then, and I went, I'm getting this done. I'm going to do as much as I can to get out on the bike. So it's just about confidence, and then just to go for it. So I got on the bike, I started going back around. I was like a different rider altogether, and then I'd start doing more manoeuvres and everything like that, you know. So I was delighted with that, and so he took me out then onto the business park. So with the business park, then he fitted you up then with like your speaker and stuff like that, and it's just something like that. Now I bought that off eBay, because I'm going to need it for my full test anyway. So it'd be well worth investing in one of these. They were only a couple of euro, that's all. And it's one thing that's definitely so I got out onto the business park and driving around. The students stopped starting and all that kind of stuff as well, and things were going well. So he brought me out onto the road, so I went out onto the road for maybe 10-15 minutes, something like that, which was great for my confidence as well. And I was delighted then that I got the 125 licence. Now I still have 4 hours left to finish on the IBT, which is great because I can get the A licence as well. So he just gave me the licence for me to be able to go out, get experience on the road, and then be able to come back and finish off my IBT. So I have the cert. So you have the cert there, and you have your 125 licence here. And you know, when you come back, then you can get the A licence, get all that done as well. But once you get that, then happy days, you're good to go on the road, and you can get your bike insured as well. But all in all, the IBT was fantastic. I highly recommend it. Like I said, if you're not sure about it, you can do the theory class, and then if you like it, then you can pay, or you can organise for the second class as well. If anybody has any questions or any experience yourself with the IBT, pop it in the comments down below, and I'll respond to you. I'm very chatty anyway, so I will respond to you once I see it, and once I get a bit of time to answer you back as well. I'll see if there's anything else here that I'd pop down for information. Yeah, not really. You know, everything is there. It's just a brief overview of what I'm doing. So it's just a brief overview of what my IBT experience is. I don't know if it helps you out at all, but you know, I just want to give my experience. And look, this is my first proper full video on YouTube, so forgive me if I wasn't perfect or anything like that. I'm learning YouTube just like I'm learning on the bike as well. But bike wise, like, I'm on it since September 2020. And I'm a completely different rider now. I love being out on the bike now. Towards back when I was barely getting the 125 licence from the instructor, you know. So practice practice is the best way to go. But definitely prepare yourself financially as well, to kind of pay price. It's pricey enough at the start, but it's well worth it. And like I said, that the Police Rider book is a great book. There's loads of different great books and stuff out there, but I just found that great, and I still go back to it to this day, and I always will, because I just believe in training and upskilling the whole time, and you need to do that on the bike, because a bike, you're constantly learning about a bike, and then obviously if you get a bigger bike, you have to learn about that and weights and all that kind of stuff as well. So that's just my experience of it. For me, it's going great with the bikes. I'm starting my own YouTube channel, which I never thought I would ever do, and I just really enjoy it, and I'm just here to pass on any information that I can as a learner, because you know all the other videos are people that have been on the bikes years and years and all that kind of stuff as well, which is cool. But you know, when you're starting off, it's good to see a face of somebody who's starting as well, you know. So like I said, have that conversation with yourself if you want to fork out for it. It's definitely worth doing it, but you have to go for it if you want it. There's no point going a half measure on a bike, because you'd be disinterested and it's going to be a waste of money, and nobody wants to be wasting that kind of money either, you know. So look, thanks for watching today, and hopefully I helped you in some small way, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Deise Rebel out.